Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. This is a crumb chat because I feel like sewing just for fun and I love that I get to do these things. I like to have an auction each time I have a crumb chat video, and I don't know if I promised you a certain something. I do know we worked on this in the last video, and I think I told you I'd show you ways to use this, so I will. And I also have these that I still want to work on, little strip sets like this that I can use, or I might end up just putting them on eBay. So this is what I have for eBay this time. It's just random stuff that I picked out of this bag that says big or long crumb blocks. It's just things that I've pieced and they go in that bag. And I think I picked out like 8 things. I try to keep them to a size where I can use the eBay standard envelope or whatever that they have. That doesn't cost me much shipping, yet I still get to print a label, and I believe that includes tracking too. I don't know. So that's why I don't have too many of them, but you know, there might be a time that I'll just sell a whole big bunch of crumbs, but I don't know. I don't like them to leave my home that quickly. They have to be here for a while. All right, so let me just show you. This one has a little bit of a fuzzy edge. I could have just trimmed that off, or if you want, you can do some top stitching on that one and let the little fuzzies shine. Yeah, they're thready. Okay, I'm not going to pick off all the little threads. So there's a piece like this. Oh, this is going to be on eBay right now, so go to the description of this auction. I'll give you the link and you can bid. It starts at 1 penny, free shipping. Outside USA, you have to pay shipping. Nothing special here, but it's a nice piece. I like to give you angles, angles here too. If you don't know how to use these, I have a whole series, Crumb Quilt Adventure. That link is in the description also. It's going to show you how to do all these things. I'm obsessed now with the little fuzzies. There's that. And this strip set stuff, see all the little strips that were sewn together. This little guy, it just gives you something to start with. This guy, now you'll see there's some top stitching there, and you can continue to do that. You can even do it on the pieces you get from me if you want to do some top stitching. You know, I really should do a little bit more of that because I like the looks of top stitching. I think it's cool. There's that. Oh, now look at this one. Oops. Okay, I think I pressed it, but it just wants to fold. Those are all little strips there. Now, I don't know if I started with little narrow strips. I think I didn't. I think I might have had them be bigger, and I do that trick where I sew on each side, then I split, then I sew those together and split. And you're always working with big pieces, but they look little at the end. We can do that again for fun. Stuff like that. And this was the trimming of my strip quilt adventure, remember? And I had some blocks with the bandana squares, and I trimmed, and that's left. And you can use this, as is, just keep adding, some longer pieces, but you can cut this. Cut it like right here if you want, and then you add your pieces and build. Anything can be cut. And here's another strip set type thing. Like that. So I might start putting more crumbs up between videos and whatever I have time for. I have had auctions up. At the time that you're watching this, we are September 2. What is the year? 2025. Joe is celebrating 29 years of being clean and sober today. September 2 is his anniversary. I think they call it birthday, sobriety birthday or whatever. So I'm very, very proud of him. That's a long time to be clean and sober, especially when you were a heroin addict. I feel like that's got to be a hard thing to beat. Anyway, this is auction. Go bid on it. And now I think I will go press this, and maybe I'll cut some of this up and just show you how we can use it. I pressed this, and look, I cut some donut squares for my exclusive sales. Actually, at the time of this video, what did we say? September 2, this is 2025. I have these on eBay right now. I have the selvages that went with this. 14 selvages. So when you go see this auction, you'll see this auction too. Did I say auction or video? I don't know what I said, but I have selvages up for auction. Now, I'm going to show you like one thing that I said. Instead of cutting, let's say I want to cut at an angle, and pretend I cut this off, and then that edge that I cut, I would want to sew this on it. When you're sewing something cut, you're going to have all those seams that might not want to behave. They might want to open up a little bit, or you might end up stretching. So here's what I do. I'm just going to lay this down somewhere. And I always have to remember, okay, if I sew here, then it will open this way. And then it'll all be attached. So let's do it like right here. I'm just laying this down and I'm going to sew right on this edge of this thing. Or I like to sew this way. So let me just trim this a little bit with my scissors. Let me just, like that. I like to sew with the edge to the right. And I don't really need to know. I'm going to make it like kind of wonky, like this. All right, I'm just sewing right there. And now if I want to, I can put another strip going this way. And I can use this again, or let me find something else. These are my long strips. You know how I know? Because I wrote it on a piece of paper and stuck it on the bag. Let me find one that I kind of like. A lot of selvages. I don't feel like selvages right now. How about this sherbet kind of color looking thing? So now I'm going to lay it next to here. I'm going to trim it. I'm going to turn it again because I want to sew in the center. And I like to sew with that on this side. You can put it very close to the other one because we're going to be cutting between those. All right, this is what we have. They're both face down, they're both at an angle, and the sewing lines are in the, on the inside. Now we're just going to cut between those two. Like this. Now I'm going to press open, and I'm going to go press this open also. Like that. Like that. Then I'll decide how I want to cut this. Now let's start with this one. See how it captured all those strips? And it was so easy. And I'm just going to do a general trim. I don't always trim until I use them. But I'm trying to get that crease out. But I am, just so you can see how you can do that. And you have choices. I can, if I wanted to, follow this angle and and trim like this where the red is, meaning following the red. I could just follow the red and then trim that way, but I like to sometimes do something different, and I'm going to go like that, so I have more edges that I can work with. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Look, there's a flip-flop and donuts. Now for this one, I'm gonna trim like starting here, and I don't know. Let's do, gee, I could capture some of those edges there too. But instead, I think I'll just, let's just cut this purple one here. Now that'll get lost probably if we sew something. You can use that almost like the seam allowance and, you know, just add to it. You might get just a little bit of that. That's kind of cool. Maybe we can try that right now. And let's do this. All right? I don't know. I'm just doing whatever I feel like. Oh, I feel like I need to save this little guy. I'm going to put him in the single baby crumbs. I still keep up with it. After I do these videos, I put everything in its own little bag that it belongs in. And now I have this for later. Okay, let's see if I can work wonders with this little blue strip here. It's very, very tiny. Let's add donuts to it. Now, I would like to press it. I hear Joe, hang on. Joe cracks me up, he's so cute. I told him a little bit ago that I'm going to be in my sewing room with the door closed. I turned his TV off because he was sound asleep, but I told him, your TV's off, sewing, door closed. He knows where my sewing room is, the back bedroom. And he's like, okay. And now he just yelled something, and I didn't know. And I went and asked him, I said, what did you say? He said, can you see the TV from back there? I'm like, no, Joe, I can't. He's in the living room. He goes, oh, okay. He has these little dreams, I guess, and now he just wanted to, you know, he was concerned that I was far away, and he wanted to make sure I could see the TV. Yes, I'm sewing, door's closed, TV's off. All right. It's always entertaining around here. Okay. Oh yeah, we're going to try to put some fabric there. It's going to be tough. I might be able to see a little bit of the line here. So I'm going to most likely be doing like 1/8 of an inch. And I wish this was, okay, I'll start here. And, oh yeah, and I like to sew with this on top. So let me put my strip down and I sew, that way I can see how much fabric I have. And there's a seam there too. This is a tough one, and I'm gonna give it a go. I'm moving that other seam over. Okay, hop on. I'm gonna make the stitch length shorter too. I think that came out pretty good, maybe. I'm gonna press it. Look at that. See how cool that is? That was very easy to do. I like it. Let me trim this guy. Oh. And let's just, well, I'll just make this go straight with that. Okay, I think I like this donut piece. He's got to be in the baby single pieces too. Right over there. I'll find his home later. So that's what I like to do with strip sets like this. And again, I can cut this and make this into 2 pieces. Same here. Do whatever you want. I'll put these aside, and maybe they can be up for auction too. Do check my auctions often, because I do put things up. Like I said, right now there's a salvage auction in this print, and then there's some other salvages right now too. All About Daisies by Benertex. I think it was Fat Quarters that I bought, and I saved the selvages, and I always leave a nice generous amount of fabric on them. So we'll see those. Okay, now what do I feel like doing? Do I want to continue to work with this? Yeah, so what else can we do? Of course we can just cut like little squares and have that be a center and work around that. So I like to cut on a wide piece, so let's do that. I'm going to cut all the way up. And let's make an angle. Like that. So it's not square, but let's just add around this guy. And if I want, I can add a 2-piece crumb. See, I can put that there and it'll fit. Just going to straighten out this edge a little bit. And put that together. Let me press and trim. I have that. How cool. Isn't that super cool? I think it is. Oh, I guess those will go in the baby blocks. I don't know. There's something seriously wrong with me. Okay. Now I have a piece like this. See, these are the other things I'd like to put on eBay. It's just I haven't had time right now. 2-piecers. And maybe I'll like to leave the salvage on that one. Or maybe, is there something longer I can use? Let's add it to that. Oh, and look, we're facing this again. A little skinny part. So, let me make a straight edge here. I'm going to keep the salvage with the color-coded dots. All right, so I want this on top, and I want to push back this other seam. So now I can see that, see the purple, it's white on this side. I'm going to just lay this down, and I want to get as much of the color dots as possible. So I'm going to go like that. And I'm going to sew 1/8 of an inch. I don't even know if that's the way I was supposed to do it, but that's the way I did it. And let me trim here like that. And like that. So it's kind of a strip set, only it needs a corner. So I'm going to actually angle this out more. It's almost a little bit easier. There's the little skinny thing there that we had going on. Now I'm going to add a triangle here. Okay, I have a bag called single crumbs. Bigger. They're not baby, they're bigger, but they're single crumbs. I don't want too many seams. I have this nice, lovely piece of black. Why did I talk like that? And, well, let's do this guy. And I'm going to leave it this size. So I'm just going to go, I'm putting him face up. And I'm going to put this angled edge along the edge, the straight edge here. And I'm going to sew. And then when you press, this doesn't have seams. This side is full of seams. So we don't want to push this guy back. We want to push this back. So I put it down, I press like this, and then we push this back and press. And we have this, and if you want, you could, even this up on your cutting mat, but I'm just going to take a chance and wing it. I'm just going to follow the angle there, follow the angle there. It's a little bit too angled out, but we'll go like that, and it'll be good. And this is what we have, like this. And you just keep going any way you want. All right, you know what? I think I'll stop because Joe's concerned that I can't see the TV. And I want to, this is the bigger, okay, I want to go get the other things on eBay, because even though I said they're on eBay, at this moment they're actually not. But by the time I have this video uploaded, they will be. And I'm going to sort my little things, and I'll probably do some more sewing. I've actually been working on my 2-inch squares for the king quilt, so we will be having that hopefully this year. I try to work every day a little bit on that. Anyway, that's it. I will be back with more soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Bye.